Can you believe the FISMAS 4 protests were a decade ago? And now, in 2025, it seems like a lot of the same with Gen Z protests taking over the world. So, what can the Gen Z protests learn from the FISMAS 4 era?
Gen Zs have been incredible in terms of organizing, in terms of bringing together these issues, but also, and this is I think the biggest thing, of being creative organizers, innovatively protesting in ways that the elder generation just don't get. And therein lies a huge, huge power.
Hi, I'm Zakia Hatia, and in 2015 I was a student here at WITS doing an honours degree. Like all of my friends and peers, we were part of those who protested for decolonized, free higher education. Being back here is surreal because I remember how angry we were at the proposed fee increase and how aggressive the response was from both police and the university. So I reached out to some of the former leaders of the FISMAS 4 movement to make sense of the world we live in today.
Yeah, I am enjoying the current kind of moment with Gen Z and kind of their political activism. I think they are not willing to accept the world as it comes, especially injustice as it comes. It feels different from what we were doing, like the president says, they're gonna do something and the young people are like, no, we're not doing that. Yes, FISMAS 4 became a national campaign, but that wasn't the plan. And for me, I think when I look at the Kenya example, it's like, these guys wanted to do a national thing. They use social media to do a national thing. It's amazing.
A big part of FISMAS 4 was how violent the protests became.
Just behind me is the Great Hall. There were many times where we were shoved by the police, private security, literally thrown down, tear gas, stun grenaded just around me. There were so many times in which we didn't know what the future would look like. We didn't know what we would have to sacrifice.
A lot of us live with the trauma of when the police and the private security were allowed on campus. I think a lot of violence basically interfere with what we were trying to do. And I think in many ways the students were never violent, but were provoked many times to respond.
And so these former student leaders shared with me how Gen Zs are building solidarity and community in a way that they were unable to.
And if I'm to be more reflective about how FISMAS 4 ultimately became quite fractured in the latter part of it, I think there's something to be learned from Gen Zs. Many of us really collapsed both mentally and physically and emotionally after that period. And perhaps if we organized in a different way, in the way that Gen Zs are now, I do wonder if we would have been able to get a little bit further.